A man was bitten by a venomous snake, leaving him completely paralyzed and unable to move. However, the doctor pronounced him dead, without even attempting to resuscitate him. To determine the cause of death, the doctor let the assistant send the man to the autopsy room, preparing to remove and examine his internal organs. The most desperate part was that at this moment, Jimmy was fully conscious. He could not only see the sharp scalpel in front of him, but also hear the doctors discussing where to make the first incision. Yet he couldn't move a single inch, only able to slowly await his death. The doctors proceeded to cut off Jimmy's clothes, and the autopsy officially began. Before starting, they even took a posthumous photo of Jimmy, but the careless doctors failed to notice that his pupils hadn't dilated yet. It seemed that today, Jimmy was destined to die no matter what. As per protocol, the next step was to measure the body temperature. The doctor roughly inserted a 1-meter-long thermometer into his rear end. At this point, Jimmy had already cursed the doctor's entire family in his mind. Ultimately, the temperature reading came back normal, but the female doctor claimed it was because the corpse hadn't cooled down yet from being out in the sun for too long. Eager to finish up and call it a day, they skipped the step of examining external injuries. Unexpectedly, they handed the first incision to a rookie intern. It was his first time wielding the scalpel, and he was both nervous and excited. However, his teacher stopped him and kicked him out of the autopsy room because starting from the forehead was considered taboo. In the end, they still needed the help of the experienced female doctor. The woman prepared to make an incision in the chest to precisely remove the heart. Little did they know, the seemingly useless intern ended up saving Jimmy. While sorting through Jimmy's belongings, a venomous snake crawled out of a golf bag and bit his colleague. The doctors rushed to treat the victim and discovered that the man wasn't actually dead, but in a state of apparent death due to snake venom. That's when the intern remembered Jimmy on the autopsy table, exhibiting nearly identical symptoms to his colleague. He dashed back to the autopsy room where, fortunately, the two doctors were still intently examining Jimmy's lower body organs. The intern arrived and explained the situation. Only then did the female doctor notice the wound on Jimmy's leg. She felt immensely guilty because their negligence had almost killed a living person. In the end, under the emergency treatment of the chief physician, Jimmy successfully survived.